Thank you very much. Welcome to the April 9th special voting meeting for Keystone. Action item A1, flag salute please, followed by a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lovely. Thank you all very much.
Do you want this door closed?
No, it's a public meeting, but unless there's some noise, but thank you, Rich. Action A3, roll call please for attendance.
Dr. Baldino,
Here.
Ms. Bohart,
Here.
Mr. Shear,
Here.
Ms. Lynch,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Scaff,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Wyckoff,
Here.
8 members present.
Okay, come on. Okay, thank you. We have any visitors signed up to speak or online?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. No hearing of visitors. Action item C1, the Verkada security system. As the board and the public knows, the system was approved in a previous meeting months ago. Now it's up to the board to discuss whether or not they would like the 5 or 10-year financing options for the Verkada system. So we're going to have some questions, any discussion, just please note that we can't actually speak about the technical aspects of Verkada. The system's already been approved for purchase. This is if you have any financing questions. And we have a gentleman here from Verkada.
3 of them,
Oh, Cody too. Okay.
Cody and Dave.
Okay, great. Dave Doolittle, Cody's phone, and Joseph Bartek. So they are here zooming in if you have any questions. We also have our business manager here, Joni McIntyre. So do you have a microphone, Joni? Okay, thank you. And it's been broken down in Dr. Redmond's weekly memo to the board. He broke it down very nicely for us, the difference of the costs. And so please, floor is open. If we can have, before we make the motion, we need to find out if you have any questions about the difference between the 5 and the 10 years, so then we can make a motion on one or the other, please. Is there any questions? Okay. Do we have a consensus that we're moving more towards the 5 or more towards the 10-year? So then we will make the motion according to the 5 or the 10.
I'll make a motion that we go for the 5-year plan.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to move the Verkada 5-year financing option. Open for the discussion on the 5-year financing option. Do you have any specific questions on the 5-year? Okay, debate closed. May we have a roll? We have a motion on the floor to move the 5-year financing option. Roll call vote, please.
Dr.
You made
Baldino,
it.
Oh. I'd just like to announce that Manny is here. We have a motion on the floor, Manny, to a motion to move the 5-year financing plan for the Verkada. Debate was closed, but I'm willing to open it if you have any comments.
No comments.
Okay, thank you very much. We are proceeding with the roll call vote, please.
Okay.
Dr. Baldino,
Yes.
Ms. Bohart,
Yes.
Mr. Shear,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
5-year plan? Yes.
Mr. Scaff,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Wyckoff,
Yes.
9 members, yes.
9 members, motion passes unanimously for the 5-year financing option. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned. Our regular scheduled work session will begin at 6:30. Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Good evening, Keystone, and welcome to the school board April 9th work session. We're going to have a call to order flag salute, followed by a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Okay. A1 call for attendance, please.
Dr. Baldino?
Yeah, here.
Ms. Bohart?
Here.
Mr. Shear?
Here.
Ms. Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
There.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Scav?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Wykoff?
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you very much. I move to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Do we have a second, please? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Not approved. Motion carries. Thank you. Action item A5, thank you very much. We're going to start leaving this on as a line item so we make sure that we don't forget any executive sessions. I just want to let you know that one was just added. It was a March 31st Act 93 meet and greet from 12:01 p.m. to 12:56 p.m. Everything else is listed for all of our executive session meetings and the purpose. Thank you very much. And now B1, Bucktail Middle School, High School. And I see from last month, the digital photography. Please introduce yourselves and thank you for coming.
My name is McKenna Bisman. I am the president of the student government and president of the band club at our school. And I'll pass it over to.
Good evening. Nice to see you all here. I'm Caitlin Pulaski, board representative. Hedda Bisman represented Bucktail in the regional band. This was her second year advancing to the regional band, and she is very honored to wear the brand new uniforms that the marching band got this year. For the past 3 years, the band has been working hard to get these, so it is something to celebrate. Varsity softball and baseball have started. The softball record is 3-1 and the baseball record is 1-3. We will continue to update you as the season progresses and as the weather gets warmer. We had our PBIS day celebrating the end of the third quarter. We played games to win prizes, had scavenger hunts, and a school-wide bucket competition and a contest of what teacher could dress the craziest. The media class created a news show that plays the announcements every Monday for the school. They announced the weather, lunch menu for the week, sports events, and funny bits, and many more. The sophomore and junior prom will be held May 2nd at Bucktail High School. The theme is neon. The senior ball is on May 9th, and the theme is tangled. All the students are very excited to get their boogie on. The Bucktail Ecology class and members of the student government met with York Representative Hill Evans about the state fossil Harry the Hiner Paton. Today it went very well, and she is very on board with our project. And finally, here's the Bucktail's digital photography class presentation.
Would you mind, please, just for folks that weren't here last time, to tell them how this all came about?
Oh, yes. So I was in the Bucktail's digital photography class, and we went on a field trip to take pictures throughout the Renovo and Bucktail area. And so we kind of just put together a little slideshow to show you what we've been doing.
Thank you.
Of course. Yep. So the purpose of photography at Bucktail, students appreciate our photography class to have creative expression, experience hands-on learning, advance their technology skills, and so much more. It doesn't just benefit the class, it also benefits other students and teachers who see the photos hung out in the hallway. Throughout the course, students will be learning different photography techniques and styles. Next slide. So we started off with still life photography, which students got to choose how they wanted to like post things and take pictures of it. Next slide. Name portraits. So we, instead of just writing our names on our folders, we actually got to make a collage of things we like. Mine's in the middle up there. I made mine very beachy because that's what I like. Next slide. And then we went out on our field trip and we took photos like throughout Heiner Park and all that. And we made postcards, and the best postcard, we're making it so people can buy it at Flaming Foliage and send it to people.
Great idea.
Mhm.
That's great.
And I think that's it. Thank you.
That's wonderful. May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Now, when you were doing digital photography, then were you able to use software to manipulate or change the photograph? Or
Yeah.
are you sticking just with the photograph?
We were able to edit them and then we'd put them together, all the photos we took, and we'd hang them up in the hallway and we put like our name on them and we did like funny little tags about how much we think they would cost and all that.
That's great.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you guys just do digital or do you guys do use film?
Just digital.
It's just digital?
Mhm.
Okay.
I didn't know you were that old.
Well, I took a
I'm
photography
sorry,
class and I
I'm
had
going off agenda.
film.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All
That
right.
was
Thank
lovely.
you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Central Mountain High School.
Looks like we don't have a rep here.
Did she try to zoom in? Maybe? I don't want to cut her.
It's not.
I don't know if we're here.
Oh, Logan, yeah, Logan Hammond. Okay.
Hmm,
Well,
guess I
in
missed that.
case if, we'll just keep an eye open. Okay, we're gonna table, maybe they can join us during the vote section, okay? All right. Presentation, Keystone Central Foundation. Slides here, I'm sorry. Hi, Melissa, please introduce yourself. Thank you. It's been a couple months, and I'm glad the schedule coordinated.
Yes, thank you very much for having us. My name is Melissa Bodoff, and I'm the part-time executive director for the Keystone Central Foundation. I'm joined here tonight with other members of our board, including Mary Koploff, who is a retired educator, but also serves as our current president for the Keystone Central Foundation, as well as Dr. Redmond, who has been on our board since he joined us several years ago and has supported us in our endeavors as well. So we just wanted to take a couple of minutes on behalf of our 23 volunteer board members that we have to kind of come to the board and just let you know what we're doing to support the students of Keystone Central School District. Since the mid-1980s, our foundation has been in existence, and it's primarily known as a vehicle to offer scholarships to students from Central Mountain and Bucktail. And our foundation has really evolved as well. We're really proud of one of our projects that we do, which is the LaRue Hinchcliffe Classroom Mini Grants. So each year, anyone in the school district, any faculty or staff are able to submit a mini grant request for our committee to review and possibly fund. So these are for projects that would help the students in some way to enhance a experience or provide additional support to them that may be outside the normal budget, which we all know can be very easy to have. Most things are outside the budget these days. And I'm pleased to say that the Keystone Central Foundation, through this project, has funded over $17,000 since the beginning of this school year. And that's not necessarily more or less than other years. That's usually a pretty common. And we've been really pleased to be able to offer grants that support different positive behavior projects throughout the school district, whether it's Brad McCloskey, who's introducing stencils on playgrounds at the elementary school to encourage teamwork and collaboration and positive behavior, or supporting the lunches that are offered to students of the month throughout the district. We also help with field trips in certain situations and trying to expand on some of those field trips. And we also do really cool things, like we've helped the rock band at Central Mountain High School get started. And that is actually growing. They just submitted a secondary request where they want to add a recording studio and additional instruments because it has been such a great project. So throughout the year, we are doing things just like that throughout the school district with lots of different projects. And we think it's important that not only the board of directors see that or the board here, but the community as well as what we're doing in the community. Another thing that we're really proud of is a partnership that we have had for several years with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, the DCED program. This is again is a collaboration where we have businesses in our local community that want to support the students of Keystone Central School District, and they're able to make donations to us, and we are able to fund certain projects throughout the school district. Several years ago, we gave over, I think it was over $50,000 to the middle school to make maker spaces at the library to update things and make it a little bit more hands-on for the students that are in the middle school. And we're actually working with Megan Hall right now to hopefully do something similar here at the high school level as well. This has included tower gardens at Woodward Elementary School, where students learn to grow things with aquaponics, and lots of other different projects that we're able to support through this. And we're very grateful for the businesses in our community that show the support to our students, as well as to our foundation by making those requests. One other thing I would like to bring up to the board before I conclude today is a project that we started several years ago called the Keystone Scholars Project. This was a brainchild of one of our donors, the Mapstones that were from the area, who wanted to see more of our students succeed when they graduated, whether that was going into the workforce or perhaps first-generation college students. And we've really been able to take that program, and we're very fortunate this last year to partner with the Crota Foundation, which is an international foundation, to be awarded over $135,000 to support that program, both at Central Mountain and at Bucktail High Schools. So we're able to bring in some mentors and provide additional opportunities, as well as when the students graduate, whether they're going into the workforce or into secondary education of some sort, some type of what I call adulting money to get their educational expenses started and to help them on their way. So we're very proud of that project, and we're very excited. We have people from the United Kingdom coming over to see this at the end of the month, and we're excited to see where this project is and where it has grown. And then finally, it is almost the end of the school year. So of course, what we're known for most are scholarships. And right now we are anticipating awarding about $60,000 in scholarships to the students at Central Mountain, any student actually, and in a lot of cases that lives in the Keystone Central School District footprint. So some of those applications are on our website, and others are also available through Student Services for the students. So we're excited and proud to have that going on right now. And one other final thing is, I should say, we would like to come a little bit more often so we can share the good news with all of you of what we're doing and really have a collaborative project going forward with whatever it might be. And one way that we do that is in our bylaws, we do request or have a space on our board for at least one member of the school board to participate. So normally that is not too much of a commitment. I know Ms. Lynch asked me to talk about the commitment of that. It's pretty minimal. And Dr. Redmond can attest to this, meetings every other month, our board meetings. We ask everyone to participate in at least one committee, and some of those are very easy and always a lot of fun. And we also ask that you help us support and help us fundraise about $200 that we didn't have before, whatever that might look like, whether you know a business that could sponsor our golf tournament or something else. That's what we would ask as a commitment for anybody that serves on our board of directors. So at this time, I would like to answer any questions you might have, and certainly thank you for the time and everything that you're doing to support the students of Keystone Central School District as well.
Beautiful. Please, do you have any questions for her?
You say your meetings are every other month?
Yep,
What
every
night
other
are
month.
they on?
I'm sorry?
What night are they on?
Currently, they're held Wednesday evenings. It's a Wednesday evening at 5:30, and
Okay.
we have a very tight agenda. We're usually done within an hour.
Thank you.
I've been appointed and I have not attended because of my other commitment, and which I feel bad about, but I don't feel bad because you send me all the updates, I read them, and you're flawless. Incredible work. So I'm asking for a board member. We don't have to have a board member sit on their board, but it's always good because that person can come back with information, or maybe they'll have an idea they want to share with the foundation. The foundation is one of our key partners. Is there anyone here that would like to be on the foundation's board and go to their meetings on behalf of the school board?
Manny,
I can't, not on Wednesdays, no.
I don't get, because we have so many
I have
meetings.
commitments.
oh, come on. I was on when they reformed, and it is an
Mhm.
awesome organization.
Oh, it sounds like we have a
If nobody
candidate.
will, I would love to, but I'd like to see one of these youngsters give it a shot. I will, yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Uh,
I am appointing Rich Wyckoff to represent the school board effective immediately on the Keystone Foundation. Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. What you've done for us at the Arts Council is amazing, and that's one thing a lot of people don't know. If you're trying to set up a scholarship for someone, you are very helpful in getting that going. I don't know how many years we've been doing it now as an Arts Council, but we're adding another scholarship this year. And we're very happy to award these arts. We love working with the kids, so it's my pleasure to come home.
Yeah, in addition to the scholarship too, we've extended that to be a sponsorship as well, because we are looking for students. This is with the Uptown Music Collective.
Yep.
So if
Right.
there's students in the school district or in Clinton County that are participating in Uptown Music Collective, they can apply for a sponsorship. I think it's ages 8 to 18 can apply for a sponsorship to help offset the tuition, because we're trying to encourage the arts and we're working with the Arts Council to do just that.
Yeah, you're perfect for it, Rich, because of those connections. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
No, appreciate your confidence.
Thank you very much. Okay, have a lovely, lovely weekend if we don't see you. Thank you. Okay, action item C2, proposed general fund budget. Hi, Joni.
Okay, so here is the most updated information we have, given decisions that have been made up to this far. So the first and second slide are slides you have seen before. The second one is the timeline. So go ahead and go to the third slide. Okay, I met with Benecon, Kathy Cook on Monday or Tuesday, excuse me, and she solidified what the actual renewal rate is, and we are at 19.9%. They actually capped all rates at 20%, so we're right there at the cap. So I wanted to show you, this is actually the executive summary that she shows. We are actually right now at 114%. If we close the year right now, that would mean we would owe about $834,000. We're hoping, we typically look like this time of year, and we do see some kind of decrease in that deficit by the end of the year. But I don't know. It will just depend on how many claims come in from now till September that fall in this school year. Because of these types of claims and increases, that is why we see a 19.9% increase in our health insurance. Last month, I did have this information in the March presentation, but I put it on a separate page so it was easier to find, that the health insurance increase, that 19.9 equated to a $2.6 million increase in our budget. Our current members on the plan equate to about 13,700,000, and retirees are about 1.3. And that's just the health insurance.
Joni, does that, when you say health insurance, that's dentist, eyeglasses?
No, this is just health and medical insurance.
Oh,
Total would be about 15 million total of all healthcare cost. And I can break that out, but this is just
oh,
health insurance. This is just medical insurance.
okay.
Yes, the other are not. I think the one vision is like 90,000. It's about 15 million total.
Okay.
So these two together are almost, well, they're about 15 million now, but it's not much, but I can get you those figures. But I know you were very curious about the retirees medical. Okay. The next slide you've also seen before, but it has actually, our reduction of expenses have reduced. And that is due to the disapproval of the furlough recommendation. So I had to add those budgeted figures back into the reduction. So it was 4.5 and now it's down to about 4. At the bottom, though, we are still proactively working on, grant funds to always offset district expenses. We have, as of April 4th, stopped all 25 and 26 spending unless it is absolutely necessary. So we are purchasing and myself look through the details of every requisition that now comes through. We will have graduation expenses, those types of expenses that come through that are absolutely necessary. And we know that through the end of the school year. But it is, we're sitting here at April, so there's not too many of the things that should come through now for May and June. And then, again, we've all talked about targeting recruitment for out-of-district CTE students and cyber charter. We've promoting doing studies for those. And then, of course, we are always looking at collapsing class sizes per student enrollment, and depending on enrollment for kindergarten up. Your next slide will show you, and these are slides you've all seen before. And again, you'll see that the shortfall has increased because I had to take out that budgeted recommended furlough number. So we are now back up to about 3.6, and this is with the no tax increase. Again, the slides you've seen before, this is with a 0.88 millage increase. Your shortfall is about 3.3. Next slide will show you with the 1.75, you are at a little over $3 million of a shortfall. And then your 2.63 is about 2.8. And then the last is the Act 1 index of 3.5 millage increase. It would yield a little over $1 million, and the shortfall would be at 2.5, almost 2.6.
Joni, I have a quick question. Please don't worry, we can come to the voting session or email us, but when we look at the projections, when you're looking at the staff that we currently have, and then you just multiply by the percentage that's in their contract, is that how you get to that number? You look at the current employees we have now.
Yes,
Their salary, and you multiply it by what's in their contract, let's just say 3%.
correct.
And then that's how you're using it for the years out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. And that is, we understand the Act 93 is currently up, but I take what the projected number would have been if it would have continued.
Sure.
Or some estimate thereof. So, but all the other ones are still, current for this next fiscal year.
Yes.
Okay. So the next slide is a pretty good representation of where our real estate taxes go. So this is a projected number for next year, our real estate taxes of about $25,500,000 with just two mandatory expenses. These are expenses we have to pay. This is PSERS and this is the cyber charter tuition. We are actually a remainder of negative $177,000. So just with our local tax revenue of real estate, two mandatory expenses have actually expensed. They've actually overspent those two with just a real estate tax. So I think this is a very good representation of where our local tax dollars go. Questions?
I'm sorry. Yes. For your cyber charter, now that, do you know if that includes our cyber charter, or is that just the external?
It does not. It includes brick and mortar. It includes virtual cyber charter. It does include alt ed, any kind of alt ed or other tuition that we pay at another school per, IEPs might be out there, some type of situation where we have to pay for a special schooling. So it does include that, but it does not include our own virtual.
So it does include our own virtual. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Thank you very much.
So you see that number is a little bit over 14 million budgeted for next year. The next slide will show you where our predicted fund balance is if we change nothing today. This is also saying that if we end 25-26, and if you recall, we actually passed a budget last year of a $3.5 million deficit. So that is added in these numbers, and we would end 25-26 at $10.6 million. And you can see the unassigned fund balance is 4.3%. PASBO, all of the recommendations are that is somewhere up between 7 and 8%. So if you remember what the auditors were saying, that we should really work on replenishing our fund balance. And going into any kind of school year with any kind of deficit doesn't help us refund that general fund balance. So you see for 26-27, I also have the $3.6 million deficit included in here because that's the decision where we are today. But that would put us down to a pretty critical general fund, unassigned fund balance. So I just I want you to be aware we are closing in on 2 months of passing a budget. So.
I'm sorry, can you speak up, please? Your mic, please? Thank you.
Would you please repeat what you just said? I want to make sure I understand.
Yes, so if you look at, so we're in 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would complete the year as if we were going to still continue to have the 3.5 deficit, that is what the board passed, approved as a budget last year with that deficit built in, we would end the year at $10.6 million.
Okay.
Our unassigned fund balance is at 4 million, and that's 4.3% of the total budget.
Mm-hmm.
They recommend that you're somewhere between 7 and 8%.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
Yes, yes.
Thank
And you
you.
see, back in 23, 24, we were there. We were at 8.7%. But then cyber charter started increasing, the tuition started, the rates went up, the number of students that left the district went up. So there were lots of fundamental things that happened. Interest rates also went down, so we didn't see as much interest as
In
we
your
normally do.
investments.
Yes, plus when we have less general fund balance to put in the bank, we earn less interest there as well. So then that puts you again, 26, 27. Again, these are as-is numbers as of today.
Hey, Joni, why, the personal expenses on the 24, 25, why is that not in there?
Is personnel expenses?
For personnel, sorry, yeah.
That's okay. That was committed, that $1.1 million, that was committed way back in COVID. That was if we needed to hire extra guidance counselors, mental health, behavior interventionist. The board decided to commit $1.1 million. We never actually used it.
Okay.
So then we decided that we can move that money back out and move it back into unassigned fund balance because it no longer was needed to be spent there. If you recall, we just did the same thing with the Peasers. We uncommitted $3.5 million, I believe it was, because that was also when Peasers rates were kept really increasing year after year after year, school districts would put back a committed balance to make sure that they could cover all those unanticipated rises so quickly. It has leveled off. Peasers rates have leveled off pretty good. And actually next year it drops a little bit. So again, I don't think that, and again, the auditors recommended that we could move some of that money out and put it back into the unassigned fund balance, which does help us then try to get to that healthier rate.
Would you be so kind, Joni? Is there anyone here that doesn't understand or would like to hear more of what Peasers actually is or what the law says? Or is everyone okay with understanding what Peasers is? Everyone, okay.
Joni, I have a question.
Sure.
Knowing that we were going to lose the ESSERS funds, we were spending a lot of money of that, even though it was more or less a grant. But with losing the ESSER funds, have we stopped buying and spending money like we still had it? Or how has that been dissipated out to other?
So we spent ESSER funds a lot on personnel.
Yeah.
So we did hire additional additional employees to help cover some of those mental health issues and some of the extra cleaning and extra custodial. And we used those ESSER funds to cover those types of salaries. When the ESSER funds went away, we then have to use general fund to cover those expenses. We did also purchase the one-to-one laptops, and we purchased some of the technology that would help during COVID. And the hard part is then to maintain that kind of expenditure even after the ESSER funds are gone. So that's been a little bit of a challenge where we are, and we have taken the technology down to where, like for example, this year, the smart boards, we're not going to replace all the smart boards that were purchased during the ESSER funds. We found a workaround for that. So, and I believe those types of things is what we're still working towards.
Okay.
Would you have any other?
Yeah, that's right. We're looking pretty close at all those kind of, unfortunately, the need that came up with support for students, mental health counseling and that sort of thing, that hasn't gone away, but that extra funding has.
Right.
So we still have to provide those services to students, but we don't have that kind of extra income coming from the federal government to do that. So we've been scrambling, trying to find areas where we can reduce as much as possible.
I don't want to take anything away from the students, but I've just, I know there was talk of a lot of computers and smart boards and that were purchased. Are we putting?
We're
The
cutting back
brakes
as
on
much
it.
as we can.
Okay,
As time has gone on, a lot more dependence on using technology to support education has become fairly prevalent in education. One-to-one systems like ours are fairly ubiquitous. We see that in most districts have some kind of one-to-one program. But we had some pretty long and tough conversations this year about whether or not that was sustainable, and those conversations will have to continue.
okay. Thanks, Sean.
All right, to help Joni in the business office, if we could go around the table, please. And voice where you are right now. According to what you just saw in her presentation, there was a 0%, 0.88%, 1.7%, and 2.63% real estate tax increase.
There's one more level after, it's a 3.5. So they're in 25% increments.
Right.
So there's nothing 0.88, 1.75, 2.63, and 3.5. So there's actually
Well,
five.
I'll add the
possible
3
levels.
point, but I don't think anyone, maybe somebody, you're right. You never know. So the 3 plus 3.5.
3.5.
Mhm. So would you please be so kind just to go around the table and just so Joni has some idea of where this board is sitting? Not that we're making a decision, this is just sort of a snapshot for Joni.
Okay.
So who wants to start? You want to start? Go
I'll
ahead.
start. I'm at 0.
Okay,
0.00.
okay. Shelby,
0.
okay. Manny,
Oh,
and this is just a snapshot. No one's locked in stone yet. Okay, this is just to help her. Where is she gonna cut or where is she not gonna cut?
honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I can tell you right now, it won't be anywhere past 1.7.
Okay, so can I
But-
just say 0.88? Is that,
Sure.
sure, okay, fair enough. We're not locking in. We're just trying to give her a snapshot.
I just got here.
I'm sorry, this is part of the board responsibility. It's the worst part.
I guess, Joni, I mean, direct question to you. Let's just say we don't do anything and this spins out for 5 years down the road. If you can give me a long shot, like what is worst outcome here? Just kind of like, what's the absolute disaster? 'Cause-
I would say if there's no tax increase at all, I would believe we would go into the fiscal year with some kind of deficit.
At what point would Harrisburg step in, do you think?
Well, if it would continue with the fund balance that I showed you, you get down into that really dangerous 1%, 2% of your unassigned fund balance. I don't know how you'll make it to the next year.
So the ultimate goal is to keep running. So I'm probably at 1.75.
Chris?
I want to say 0, but I know how hard Joni's working and the numbers that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
I really am not ready to give an answer to this yet because there's a lot of stuff that she's working on and we're talking about. So at this point in time right now, I don't want to say anything.
Well, it's to help her. I mean, you don't have to. Nobody has to.
Mine would be at a 0.88 at the
Okay.
most.
Okay, fair enough. This is just a snapshot for her.
I don't want to make her job any harder. I know how hard she's working. We're talking a lot.
Mhm.
And then the finance committee, her and Christy and the other girls have been doing some phenomenal things.
Mhm.
We are also working to get the budget where the board can look at a true budget and it's kind of all over right now. And we're gonna talk about that more when we get to bills for payment and all that.
Okay.
So a 0.88 would be the absolute highest.
Okay, fair enough. Bill?
Start up there.
Okay,
0.
0.
Hmm.
Rich?
Manny said something, a couple of meetings ago, I think it was.
Oh, your microphone, please, Rich.
Oh.
That's
Sorry,
okay. No,
everybody.
it happens. Don't worry about
Yeah, I thought my big mouth would carry. But Manny said something a few meetings ago that has stuck with me, and was more like, okay, we could go this year without doing anything as far as like hiring or firing. And I've been wondering what that would look like a year down the road. And actually, we could skate for a year, but then the pair, it comes due then, and it comes due in a big way. So we have to do something. I don't think, in all honesty, we can do nothing. I don't think 0 works. With Chris, I don't see a clear answer to this, but we have to do something. And I've had past board members tell me that they should have thought about this more seriously before and done something and built in some way of staying safe with a small incremental gain over years where we wouldn't be faced with this right now. So I am more of a minded, think like Jason over there, that if it's going to be something, it can't be like absolute minimum. But Joni is the one that's really giving us the best guidance here. But there's something, Joni, that can get us a few years down the road while we can manage some kind of, it won't be a solution because I don't see the solution being immediate. I hear what you're saying, and I'm waiting to hear what Bill has to say.
So you're passing too. Okay, so Mr.
I'm passing the buck.
I see no point in, well, I think we have to acknowledge that we have to live in a real world. None of us want to raise taxes for ourselves or anybody else, but there's some realities you need to face over there. A metaphor in my career as a surgeon, I think I operated on one ideal patient. You had to deal with what you were presented with, and that's what we're in here. If we were to raise taxes to the maximum that we're legally allowed to raise them, we still have almost a $2.6 million deficit. You're kidding yourself if you think we can get along with raising taxes. Simple. Joni that's why I asked the question again. We're teetering on the edge of when Harrisburg's going to come in here and start telling us what we're going to do. That is not an ideal situation. Trust me. Not that I've experienced it, but at the meeting I went to last spring with Dr. Redmond, or I guess it was last fall, wasn't it? Yeah. There were people there from a school district that's in receivership. None of them had big smiles on their face. So is that what you want to do to us? We got a two-pronged thing going on here. I've resisted. I've voted against raising taxes the 2 years I've been on the board for a reason. I didn't think we were serious enough about cutting spending. It looks like we are, but then, and this is something that actually sometime when you have time, I'd like to sit down with you and you confirm my mathematics because I'm not all that confident in them. But it looks to me that we've only really, if you compare equal dollars, cut our spending about 1% in the last 3 years. If that's true, then we're not doing a good enough job in cutting spending. And we need to lean on that more, which I'm not saying you guys aren't working, but sometimes you got to really push till it hurts. as much as it hurts, as again, I don't want to vote for increased taxes. I voted against it, but I think that this year we may be right up against the wall and we need to. And we need to, and if we're going to do it, we need to do it seriously. So I don't have a specific, I haven't made a specific decision. I'm going to be like Rich and Chris and not, but to those of you that think we can get away without raising taxes, I think you're kidding yourselves. And you need to really think about that. That's it.
Okay, thank you. That leaves, I obviously, this is my 7th year. So I do see this. I haven't seen this happen yet, where the school board in cooperation with employees has really looked at the things that are really eating into the budget. And one of them is the cyber charter school that we have addressed because other school districts went to court and fought it for years. But we have something coming up on the agenda. And it's the IU-10, looking at cyber school, and the IU-10, when they've done it in the past, they have gotten students to come back to school. Now, there's no guarantees. If this board approves the IU-10 proposal to look at that, there's no guarantees that we're going to get any students back. But if we get some of those students back, that is going to help offset our expenses next year.
How
So-
much is it going to cost us?
It's we'll get to it. It's on the agenda. The proposal's there.
Well, you're talking about it now. How much is it going to cost?
It's on the agenda, Laura. But so I'm saying that's an
So
option.
then talk about it then.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. So that's an option. The other option is the staffing study. Okay, there's nothing stopping the school board from having a staffing study at any point during the budget. There's nothing stopping us. So that's something else. So when she said she took out I'm sorry, Jody, I'm not quoting you correct. I'll just say 2 million. When the staffing study that you put back in, I'll just say 2 million. So we got that. Okay, we can do that any time of the year based on enrollment, not economics, on enrollment. So we have that. So if you take those two numbers, you put them together.
But it might not be done before this end of budget year, like next month.
No, I realize that, but the budget can be reopened at any time. Okay, we can assume or we don't have to assume. It's up to the majority of the school board, how you want. I am hopeful that those two things may occur. I'm hopeful. With that said, that's why I'm saying 0. But if I have no hope that those two things don't come through, I don't know what to say, but that's where I am right now. Yes, Chris.
I don't know how to say it enough, not just to the public, but to all you new folks. Bill, myself, and you guys didn't create this mess, but you guys inherited it.
Mhm.
And it's going to take all of us to work as a team to try and get through it. And it's like Bill said, this is not going to be easy. And we're going to have to curb a lot of things. And when we get into some of the committee reports here, I'm going to report to a lot of things to you guys that weren't at them meetings. And it's stuff for us to seriously start looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I think he had his hand up first. Is that okay? Okay, thank you.
I understand what Bill said, and I did say 0.0. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know currently how things are, if the 0.0 will work. But when we have the staffing study coming, the Act 93 contract coming up, I'm no accountant, but I'm not quite sure how we can even get a written down budget until we know what our final numbers are going to be from the staffing study, from the Act 93 contracts. I think, like you said, with the staffing study, the Act 93, and I think I've said it before, so it's no surprise, instead of putting the burden out on our taxpayers like we do every year, this school needs to get rid of some bloat. We need to get cutting. Every year our taxpayers take the burden on without affecting the students, taking anything from the students. Let the school have a burden for a year. We need to get rid of some stuff.
Okay. So you're staying at zero?
I'm at a
Okay, you're
zero.
at zero. Okay, thank you.
If we can do the staffing study and the Act 93 contract and everything, we do what we want to do, I think a zero would work.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
And just briefly, I think I share everyone's sentiments. I love zero. I love zero. It would be very nice if we could show the public that even if it's already being done, communicating to them, we are doing everything we can to try to reduce expenses. And so it's a whole lot easier when you go to someone and say, look, we've cut all this, but we're still coming up short. Because I mean, and obviously if we can cut so much we zero, that'd be great. But based on the numbers that Joni's shown me, and based on a little bit on, I agree a bit with what Bill's implying, there is a worse outcome here.
Mm-hmm.
That we really should avoid at all costs, I feel. So that's all.
As well, but thank you. Is there any other comments before we move on to the next agenda? Okay, thank you very much for your great dialogue and honest opinions. Thank you very much. Action item C1, Superintendent's report. Dr. Redmond.
The Commonwealth University Lock Haven Council for Exceptional Children Student Group will host the 22nd Annual Kents Fest celebration this Friday from 9 to 1:30 in the East Campus Gymnasium over at LHU. The experience at Kents Fest is a musical talent show for children and adults with exceptional needs in Clinton, Center, and Lycoming counties. The theme for this year's celebration is A Day on Broadway. Classrooms and organizations create unique performances to musically personally selected to align with the theme. KCSD will again be participating in this community tradition. 6 classes from across the district will showcase their talents. Again, that's Friday, this April 10th at Kents Fest, 9 to 1:30. It's free and open to the public.
Right.
As we have done for the past few years, we're again going to host the Special Olympics track event at the Central Mountain Middle School track on Thursday, May 7th from 9 starting at 9 o'clock. If it rains, we're going to switch that to May 8th. The event welcomes both KCSD special education student athletes and Sugar Valley Rural Charter School student athletes, as well as their peers who support them throughout the schedule of events. This is an exciting large-scale event with over 150 student athletes participating in various events. The day kicks off with opening ceremonies and a parade of athletes. Following the athletic event, athletes are honored during the awards ceremony. You all are invited to volunteer if you'd like, and thank you, Chris, for a couple of years ago. You volunteered and were a big help.
I'm
for some
coming
of that.
back this year.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll be there.
You're invited to volunteer this year, but make sure that if you do, please reach out to Haley Orndorff, the special education supervisor, and Elizabeth Nace, the personnel secretary, as you need to do your clearances in order to work with students to do the volunteering for the track event. Also coming up is the high school is playing Hadestown this weekend. Central Mountain High School is performing Hadestown. So actually their first night is tonight, and then Friday, Saturday, and then a Sunday matinee. So right here down the hall at the high school. For the new board members, the new folks, we haven't had a chance to do a board orientation. And since we have a full board now, I want to do just a quick rundown of kind of some expectations for board members. And I'll include more information in my weekly memo with a link to a pamphlet called Essentials for New Board Members. So you'll have that. So in general, school boards do not run the school district. They ensure the district is run well. And I'm using stuff from PSBA in this. The job of the school board is governance. School directors do not have the authority to act individually. They only have the authority to act as a collective body. Boards accomplish more when they act as a team on behalf of public education in their communities. The board's role is like that of a passenger in a taxi cab. The board tells the driver, that is the superintendent, where they collectively decide the district should go, and it is up to the driver, the superintendent, and his team to decide how to get there. Most of what boards do falls broadly into 6 categories, like establishing board goals that support the work of the administration and staff, hiring and annually assessing the performance of the superintendent, setting and evaluating policies that define the expectations for the consistent day-to-day operations of the district, adopting a district budget that reflect the community's educational values and the students' needs, balanced with the financial ability of local taxpayers, fulfilling the key work of monitoring and evaluating student opportunity and achievement, approving the planned instruction describing what will be taught in the district. It's also helpful to define the boundaries of what a school board should not do. It is not the board's individual or collective role to evaluate teachers, coaches, or other staff members, except for the superintendent, and if there is one, as assistant superintendent. It is not the board's role to direct or get involved in how planned instruction is taught, or to influence the administration's personnel recommendations or engage in nepotism. It is not the board's role to conduct investigations, interviews, or question students or staff about an incident, or to get involved with student or staff discipline issues except in board hearings, or to allow student, community, or staff concerns to be brought directly to the board rather than through the chain of command with the board as the last step. So again, that was a super brief overview, pulled it directly out of that board essentials guide that I will send you a link to in this week's weekly memo. And
Will that include the first board orientation that you did for the new board members back in February? A link to that one?
I can resend that link as well.
Would you
Sure.
please?
Yep.
That was a very good link.
And that's actually for those of you who came on the 28th when we did that training, the first half, the first training day is the top first 28 slides in that presentation. And that also has all the links to all of the documents that we use as well. But I will resend the link.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Secretary Christine, do we have any hearing of visitors online or signed up? Okay, thank you very much. Committee reports, F1, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. F1, due to unforeseen conflict, the March 16th curriculum, I'm not taking your thunder away from Chair, but there's nothing to report, but April's still good, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
All right. F2, Chair Facilities Committee, please.
Okay, we had quite an interesting meeting, to say the least. Sam is working very hard to get a lot of stuff done. Some of the things he's accomplishing are just monumental. But we learned some stuff out of that meeting, and since that meeting, I've done some digging. You folks don't know, Bill does, I've harped about spending since we got here and asking what we're doing, and I've been told we're not misspending anything. But here's what I came up with, and this is just the tip of the iceberg with one department. On 2/16/21, this school district purchased an emergency generator for Mill Hall Middle School at $27,928. That doesn't include the labor and stuff to make a pad and put it in. It's never to this date even been hooked up. Okay. There was an electric heating system and a staircase here at the parking lot to the upper student parking lot that was installed. It's never been hooked up to be used. It's never been used. Sam estimated that to be a little over 10,000 and that. There was a Mill Creek turf tiger spreader purchased for $12,212 on 5/18/2020. It's never to this day been used. There was a turf groomer purchased for $26,758 on 5/18/2020. Sam says the last time it was ever used was in 2023. We don't need it. Bucktail, during a renovation project, nobody knows the price on it, had heated sidewalks installed, which is a cool idea. but they've never been hooked up. All the lines were running the concrete to heat the sidewalks and be used. They've never been hooked into the building to be operable. We don't know how much that cost. Renovo Elementary had a switchgear purchased on 4/21/21 for $23,059.99. Was never used, never hooked up. This is the kind of waste that I've been digging and digging to find what we can do. Not knowing the true prices of the sidewalks, we're at $89,957 that was spent and just thrown out there, and nothing's ever been done with it. If you add the two sidewalks in, we're upwards of $109,957. Now that's just scratching the top of one department. If there's 10 different departments that have stuff that we're purchasing and not using, that's $1 million. Now Sam would like to probably put some stuff on municipal bid, and let's get rid of it while it still maybe can get a decent price. But that's something that the board's gonna have to think about, maybe get it on the agenda for next week. Because we'll never get what we have invested in it, but we're sitting on it. Some facility stuff we learned. I had asked Sam to have some of the construction companies come to the facilities meeting.
For this Liberty Curtain.
Huh?
Did you?
Yeah, from Liberty
Okay,
Curtain, I'm
thank you.
sorry.
No, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
There's a list of 25 items that need warranty work and a lot of problems up there, as you have when any time you build a new school. But they're too busy with new projects to come to the meetings. So Sam and I were talking, and I'm pretty much at the my wit's end is we don't pay these guys another dime until the things are fixed and fixed correctly. But we still owe, what did you figure, Joni, 300,000 in that ballpark? And now if they're dragging their feet about wanting to get one job done because they're too busy on the others, my version of it is they need to come to a meeting and explain and get it fixed. I'm pretty much a cut and dry person. Everybody knows that. If you're not going to come and you're going to let the warranties run out. Now, thank God the way Sam documented everything, even though the warranties are going to end, Sam brought these to light before the warranty ended. But the bottom line is we have a school that's operating that has over 25 different issues. And these guys won't even come to the table because they're too busy. That's something the board needs to really discuss, and we need to discuss at the next finance committee meeting and give Joni a directive what we should do. Dr. Redmond should be involved in that also. But I'm seeing where we can save. It may be little dollars here and there, but we all know little dollars sooner or later will add up. Sam and his group are doing a phenomenal job, but he needs help, and the only help he's going to get is from the board and the administration also. It's like Dr. Redmond said, it's all a team thing. We're trying to cut where we can. Other than that, we had a good meeting and a lot of stuff. We just learned a lot.
It's on YouTube.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have some questions, please.
Yes.
Chris, I want to make sure I didn't misunderstand. What was the latest date that you said, I mean, latest mean the most recent date for that wasted purchases when was it made? It looked like the last one that I saw, remember hearing was like 21.
I sent you, just so you know, I forwarded that list to the whole board so you all can see it. The last
Okay.
time anything on that was used was 2023 and nothing since
All
2023.
right, so
Yeah,
my point is, you and I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I know you and me are both here because we didn't like the way the previous administrations were doing things.
right.
So that's gone.
Yeah,
I agree with you completely. They made dumb purchases. Okay, and they didn't do it. And I think your idea, if we're not going to use them, I mean, ideally, if they were really needed, they probably ought to be hooked up. If we don't need them,
right.
then let's get rid of them. That's a good point. But more importantly is, have things gotten better since we've gotten a new superintendent and a new property manager? And if they have, then we need to focus our attention someplace else.
That's why I said we can help Sam a lot. There was huge amounts of stuff being purchased and stored in the warehouse. And Joni's working real hard, instead of making huge bulk purchases for 1 million pencils, storing them in the warehouse, to start getting stuff ordered and delivered as we need
Yeah,
it.
we've talked about that unless we get a tremendous, and I agree
Right.
with that, but.
And he
My-
said
my-
he's cleared out about half of his warehouse already.
Good. My point is, we should be concentrating on what we're doing going forward. I agree with you. If we're not using the equipment, let's sell it and get what we can for it. I agree with you completely on the Liberty Curtain thing. It's more of the fiasco. It's, we shouldn't pay a penny until they fixed it. And then even, I gotta wonder when, I don't know enough about how these cases work. If you go to court or anything, when does it become time to institute litigation to try to get things done? But that's good work you did. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam is working hard to move forward.
Thank you.
That's it.
Is it, okay. Any other questions for Chris? Okay, thank you very much. Enrollment report, I'm sorry, Finance Committee, that's Chair, please.
Okay. In the Finance Committee, we worked with Joni very hard. I can't commend them enough for what they're doing. They are breaking things out by the school, by the department, so we can finally see where the money is going. Before, as Bill, when we saw bills for payment, it was like, okay, a bill came in the mail, we paid it, we put it on the list. Next one came, we put it on the list. There was no direction to where anything was going, where any funds were being spent.
To be evaluated.
Yes, Joni and Christy are making this so simple, a 10-year-old will be able to follow it. And that's greatly appreciated. There is a lot more work to do. When we get into the bills for payment today, I will explain that. It'll take a real short, want you to look at a page in there so that we can understand. What we did find out was that we have departments, and this comes back to the budget, where we cannot see a true budget. We have departments that other departments are purchasing things for this department. So it's crossing no matter what. And you can't keep up with what a department is spending when they're crossing like that. For instance, IT is buying the computers and all the curriculum programs, but it's coming out of IT's budget, it's not curriculum. So this year, it looks like curriculum has a $367,000 budget, where it could actually be over $500,000 or more. So
You're working on that.
we're working on getting all this straightened out so we can make decisions on what we need to spend on a true budget. One of the things I asked the curriculum director, Megan Hall, to come in. And I asked her straight up, because I've had a lot of people contacting and asking questions. Why does a kindergartner and a first and second grader need their own computer? That cost a lot of money, and I told Ms. Hall that I felt that the kids needed to use their hands. They needed to use their heads and not be on the computer all the time. And I was told that they're only usually on it for an hour a day. That got my thought process working. And if we're only on it an hour a day for the kindergarten, first and second or third grade, then why can't they share all their computers instead of each having their own one, because they're not cheap? And then when they get to the point where they have to start testing, they'll have their computers. So there's a lot of things I think financially we can look at. But Joni did a good job explaining, we all heard it a little bit ago, where we are. And they're working hard to cut things back. Go ahead, Liz.
I just want to see, when you're done, I do want to make a comment. That's it.
I'm pretty much done. We know we're in a pinch and we're trying to do what we can do to right it. It's not a situation where eight or nine new board members can fix this solution in a couple of months. It's going to take a long time because there's a lot of years of things not being right.
Thank you. I would like to add, it was a very good meeting. It's on YouTube. And for the curriculum committee, if you ever want to discuss, one-to-one Chromebooks for kindergartners for first grade, you can put that on your agendas for curriculum and talk it out.
And they should.
Be so choose. Thank you very much. And also in the finance committee meeting date that you had, all of those individual spreadsheets are in the committee's last meeting. And I think we also discussed that what they're working on is taking the old software that they were using for the business office with the new software, because we still don't see last year's expenses to evaluate where we are today. So there is a glitch and they're working on that. So
They're working on it.
Yep. So that will be coming, but again, it's labor intensive, unfortunately. Thank you. Action item F4, Personnel Committee Chair, please.
We had a personnel committee meeting and just discussing where we want to head and try to better things and what we need to do. And we also had a executive session committee to deal with a staffing issue.
Do you have the times for the executive session?
Our executive session was from 11:02 to 12:37, I believe.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything? Okay. Item 6, safety and security and IT. Committee.
No, you missed policy.
Oh, that's right.
Number 5.
That's very important. Sorry.
Number 5, we had a lot of discussion on. We put some policies up for first read, and some of them will go on. There's a whole bunch of ARs that the board does not vote on an AR, but it's there for your info to go in and read them. It's AR is an administrative recommendation for those of you that don't know. When we make a policy, that's up to the superintendent and the administration of how they're going to dissent that policy and make it work. So we had a good meeting on that. So we won't be voting on all the ARs because there was a ton of them, but it's there for your information to get in and look at.
Okay. 6, safety and security and IT, please.
At the last meeting we had a, I believe it was an executive session from 8:50 to 9:10. And we just discussed some security issues, cybersecurity issues and stuff. And I believe we discussed the system for the school.
Verkada.
That's it, Verkada.
Yep. Yep, thank you for all the work in that committee. Thank you. Yes. Okay, action item G1, treasurer's report. It's 4 attachments. Is there any questions or concerns? Okay. Action F2 is the financial reports. Any questions, concerns?
The girls are working on it and they're doing a good job there. If you look at it, you'll see they got the prior years added to it that you had requested a while ago. And, even though it's a sad report, they're getting there. They're making it better and better every day.
Every month there is improvement. Yes, there is.
It's a lot more transparent for people to look at and understand it. And I'm glad you guys didn't have to see it before. Bill will tell you, those reports are hard to read.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Okay, super terrific. G3, the infamous enrollment report. You see March 2026. And if we just look down at the bottom, the virtual academy, again, that's Keystone Central School District. And the second one, the one on the bottom is cyber school. That is not Keystone Central School District. And what's our current, is it 279?
Yep. it's actually dropped.
3217.
That's great. Going down a little. Any questions or concerns? Okay, thank you. Oh,
I have some.
yes, please.
It's just Dr. Redmond. From last month, it looks like we went down 6 more students
Where are you looking?
on the KCSD total.
Oh, the total.
From last month, we had 3223. This month, we're at 3217.
Yes.
Did those kids
Excuse me.
move, go to charter schools, or do you even know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can find out. So if you look down at the charter school at the bottom there, you see that there are 9 fewer students at the cyber charter school at the secondary level.
Right.
3 more at the elementary level. So some have moved out of that. You also see an increase in our virtual academy from 263 to 284. So that's 21. Not all of those are full-time students necessarily, but we are
Right.
seeing an increase in our virtual academy there.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that the CTC is gaining students, and that's a good deal. And that, just so that you guys know, when the CTC is gaining students, if they come out from another district, well, they actually pay to come to the CTC. And Kurt and his crew do a fantastic job recruiting students with that. If I'm not wrong, Kurt, maybe you can bring me up to speed. Isn't your number of students like almost double from what other CTCs are?
Well, it depends on size, but we started the year at 612.
Okay.
Early numbers right now, as of last Thursday, are about 580 enrolled for next year. Now, that is not DO students, which usually runs about 25 to 30 students.
Right.
That's not Catholic school students in there yet, and it's not Bucktail.
Okay.
And we're not done scheduling yet.
Good
And
deal.
you have out another district that Joni and I are working on to get a price for a seat. So as long as we have seats and another district does not have that program, they are legally bound by state law to give a kid a vocational education. And it only makes sense to go to the closest. So we've been approached by another district about taking students. So Joni and I need to come up with the calculation, and there's a formula for that. So we will come up with a calculation, and then you'll know what it is, and we will forward that to the other district. But right now they have 2 students, possibly 3, if I have seats that aren't taken by KCSD.
Okay. One question I have is on this enrollment report, Joni, do the kids that are coming into the CTC, are they included in the KCSD report?
Yes.
Okay, they are.
Yep, they're included in these numbers.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks.
Any other comments? Okay, super terrific. G4, parallel parking designated location for training. Thank you, John, for bringing this to the facilities committee. Sam Hoy, I saw him here. Sam, can you hear us and unmute?
He was here, I don't.
There
see-
he-
I'm
here.
Oh,
There he
thank you,
is.
Sam. There might have been a miscommunication. I was hoping you could, the map that you used for the facilities committee meeting might be on here. Do you think it might be able to be on for the voting meeting?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's attached to this, but so the general consensus is, kids, parents, local people, everybody has been doing this for years and years. The question came about from John Miller, should we designate certain areas and whatnot? I reached out to the insurance company. The insurance company kind of said, unless somebody damages a building or anything over $5,000, they don't really, they're not going to get involved. It's just a matter of, does the school district want to designate specific areas, or do we want to just leave it open as it always has been? I trained both my kids, they're 19 and 17 now, at Mill Hall Elementary School. So do we just leave it open as it is right now? Or, do we put signs up? Do we make it a specific thing, regulated by the school district? Or, just kind of let it status quo as it is? So that is up to you guys. I would like to see what we can, because when it was brought to me, the parents are saying they're driving their kids the whole way to Pleasant Gap to get designated. I mean, do we have places here that are mapped out exactly like the distance?
Yeah, yeah, we have parallel parking spaces marked kind of all around the district. We have some here in front of the high school. We have a few over
Like
at
the ones
middle
here, they're
school.
not the ones out here on the hill, are they?
No, the ones on, no, because you don't want to, practicing on a curve on a hill is probably not the best training spot anyway.
Right.
Come on.
They'll learn how to do it.
That's phase two.
Doing
Phase two.
standards.
That's where the four-wheel drives come in.
Yeah.
Well, no, in all seriousness, this
I
is,
mean,
I see it across from the Center Mountain Middle School. And I see it happen during the summertime, and it doesn't cause any major concern because the students aren't there. But on the flip side of the coin, no parents have contacted me about this, and I don't think it's been in the newspaper or on social media. I don't know, but no one's contacted me. But I just want to say this: I don't want to see it to ever go away, no matter what level we're doing. I don't want to see us say no, you can't do it at any time. That I don't want to go there. But if there was one or two designated spots, or one at the high school, I would support that, as long as, it's shared with the community. It's like, it's their property. It is public space, but I'm on the fence. So what do you folks want to do?
So if I could,
Yeah.
just
Go
real
ahead,
quick,
Frank.
It's an extra expense, and I would rather parents that we can communicate, hey, parents, in a meeting like this.
Sure.
If you want to use our spaces in our parking lots when there's no students or staff around, feel free. It's your space.
Mhm.
And then call it a day, so that we're not causing the extra expense of saying you can do it here. And then what do we do if they don't and they do somewhere else? Are we then responsible for monitoring and policing that? And then we're into staff time. I would rather just say, we're a public school and our spaces are available to the public when there's not students or staff already using them. I think that's our best stance, and we've always been open to the community in that way. So let's continue doing that. Let's
I
not
agree.
Yeah, you
because-
stole my thunder, Frank. My attitude was we should just pretend we don't know what's happening.
I agree. It's
You know,
just-
just not do anything about it.
It's just like the
In fact, I
Saturday
think
we
we can
were over
create
there.
more problems for ourselves if we establish it as something we're endorsing. then, there's always a lawyer out there willing to twist something.
When we
So,
were over there that Saturday for training, there were cars, people all over running around the loop, making them park in a spot, getting out, going around the loop a different way. I don't think we need to share an expense of marking certain spots and all that. Just,
how many
if nobody's there, there's 100 parking spots to use.
how many
So-
parking lots do we have, Frank?
Oh,
So we have 8 buildings, and so this building.
Does each one of them
has-
have a parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so we have 8 parking lots that people
Well,
can use,
and
just,
some of our buildings have more than one parking lot.
yeah.
So John, my recommendation, if a community member, a parent says, hey, we want to know where we can go, I'll
Pick a spot.
pick a spot. If there's no students or staff there, if it's outside the school day, go for it.
I agree with
is there any other comments on this? Can we, do you have a comment, Kristen? I'm sorry. Can we call this case closed?
Yep.
And we're
Yes.
all, good. I'm glad we had this discussion. Thank you. PS, action item G5, PSBA renewal and board docs transition. I am still confused. So,
Confused about? So.
Just in general.
just in general. Well, what I'm saying is PSBA has, when you look at other school districts outside of North Central Pennsylvania, they have choices on who they want their board training with. In North Central Pennsylvania, you only have PSBA. So we're sort of locked into PSBA for school board training. But being that said, they keep showing us this invoice, included, $17,000. I mean, we use them for policies. All right, we use them for ARs. We occasionally call them for trainings, but what's the bare minimum that we can still get our services without having all these extras?
So if you look on, there's 2 attachments
Yep.
onto this agenda item.
Yeah.
The bottom attachment is what we paid last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's for your membership. Each board member has a membership to PSBA that does the required board training that the state says that all board members have to work through. It also provides tons of other opportunities throughout the year that you can take advantage of. You all get emails about every day that are updates from PSBA. So it's all that whole network of things. It also provides, so you see on there all the stuff that's included, and we pay a little bit of extra, that $905.25 for administrative regulations. In addition, what's not on this thing right here, we also pay for board docs. So the system that we use to house our agendas and all that sort of thing. So that's in addition to this. And Christine, you said that was about $2,700. So in addition to this invoice of $18,700 is an additional $2,700 to support board docs.
Not for this item, not for the 26, 27.
Correct. So, right. Yeah. So the one that's marked July 15, 2025, you would add on that $2,700 because board docs isn't on there. What we found out from PSBA is that board docs, the company that supported board docs is changing, and the product that they're providing, PSBA no longer supports. So they're saying, we don't think the new version of board docs is going to be carried by Diligent is what PSBA recommends to school districts in Pennsylvania. They're recommending this other thing called Keystone Agenda, which is a similar kind of a product to board docs. It's just configured differently. It provides a lot more flexibility for board secretaries for comparing policies and that sort of thing. It's made by some school board members in Texas is where the original platform came from. I've seen school districts in other states use this new version. Pennsylvania's going to call it Keystone Agenda. I don't remember what the source company's name is, but it's the same. It's this other platform that looks more user-friendly to me than board docs does.
That'd be great. So if we go to the new platform, what happens to all the historical data that's on board docs?
If you go with this Keystone Agenda, they will move all of that. They will shift everything over to this new Keystone Agenda.
How much is it? I know
So there's the other thing on there that's marked July 15th, 2026. Physically on our agenda item, it's the top one.
All access package?
Yes, and we have the all access package right now for the standard board membership. If you look at the two side by side, they look very similar.
Well, when I was doing simple math, it comes out to about $1,900 per board member per year, and that includes the superintendent. So 10 individuals, it's about $1,900 a year. If you broke it down that way.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we are locked in because I cannot find any other potential training that the state has approved for us to take board training. So we're locked in as far as I can find. If someone else can do the research and find something else, please do. I'll be honest with you, the fact they don't have anyone bidding against them, I am not happy that there's no competition. It's almost like they might as well ask 30,000. I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, is there any way to negotiate this price down, say, look, these are the only things we need, or is already our bare minimum?
Yeah.
That's our bare minimum right there.
So if you look at the one that's dated July 15, 2026, for board members and the superintendent to have a membership to PSBA, it's $4,025 per person.
Why came up to 1,900?
Well, that's for the all access package.
Oh,
Now,
I see how you're breaking
right,
it down. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a standard membership plus that. So if you take that and divide by 10, it's like about $1,900 per person.
That's what I did.
Yep, about $1,900 per person. With that, you get board training, comprehensive subscription package, upgraded travel insurance, School Safety Institute. So it's very similar to if you look at the one that we're operating under this year, very similar stuff. It's all kind of the same thing. There's an upgrade to the travel insurance, and there's a difference now on this invoice for the one dated 2026 that is inclusive of what they're calling Keystone Agenda. On the one dated 2025, board doc sits in a whole different purchase, a whole different invoice. So you would add that $2,700 onto the one from 2025 to get to the same amount of stuff.
Board docs is $2,700.
Yeah, $2,700 a year.
Yeah.
And the Keystone Agenda is 2,000.
On top of it.
No, that's
Included.
included in here.
Yep. Okay,
It's included in.
Yep.
I'm clear.
Yeah, so the new package is gonna be 21,864.46.
Yes, all in. Mhm.
Like I
There's
said,
some things in there I don't think we need, but they're included, so
That's
we
what I
don't
mean.
know what the cost is.
That's what I'm saying. It's confusing.
Such as
The Pennsylvania School Safety Institute
that you've gone
that
to.
we just went to
Yep.
this last time.
Yep.
Actually, it was half of what it used to be. The size wise, they even cut the room in half. A lot of people went to the Safety Institute in Penn State when they had it,
Mhm.
and they said it was 10 times better than this one was, which is sad, but it is what it is. I myself, I've gone to it every year. I probably won't go to it next year. But that's just my opinion.
Well, again, the competition, we don't have any competition. So
Right.
what I'm saying is, I guess the consensus from the board, I mean, do we want to stay with board docs, or do you want to go with the new system and just have everything transferred, just do a new platform? I will say this about board docs, though. I find it very, very challenging to do real searches. Like if I put in the word transportation under policy, all of a sudden, all the policy language we have, every word that says, I can't do any finite
Mhm.
searches. I have to put in transportation and look through sometimes 10 different policies, sometimes 15, sometimes almost 100 show up.
Right.
So their search engine, it's probably 1990s.
It'd be nice
very
to
antiquated,
see
I'm
what
sure.
the Keystone Agenda is it just board docs with a new name?
No, it's a very different platform.
Is it?
Yeah, and so over time, we don't have to decide on this, right? We have till July to
Yeah.
decide on this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, current board docs goes away July 1st.
So,
Frank,
did
how
you-
long would it take them to migrate everything? Do we have an idea?
They haven't been specific on that.
They'll start to do it as immediately as we sign the contract, and they'll start as beginning of right now for us, any school district that signed the contract. But as June 30th, our contract ends, and we have to let board docs know as soon as possible. So we know what they're
Start the
doing with our
migration.
policies and stuff like that.
So
Frank,
Bill,
did
Bill-
did I hear you say that you've had some experience with this other platform and it's more user friendly?
I've seen this other platform in other districts in other states, and it has a better feel, to a more modern feel. It feels easier to navigate. It's kind of a more intuitive way of looking at it. Christine and I have both attended they did a really early version of, not quite training, but kind of an explanation of what's going on for board secretaries and superintendents, just to kind of give us an idea. And that's where I found out, yeah, this is very similar to what I've seen elsewhere. Like I said, it looks more user friendly, gives more tools to the board secretary. It allows for sharing things with the public in easier, more intuitive ways. I think it's a better product from what I've seen.
That sounds like a good thing to me if it's more user friendly. How about, you're an IT guy, or our IT people that are here, do you guys have any experience with it, or?
Have I ever interacted with it? No, I would love to see a demo of it.
There will be some board training coming.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that schedule is.
They're gonna release some here in the next week or two, is what
Yeah.
they just said in our conference.
Yeah, I agree. Board docs is clunky.
It's an old
That's
system.
very kind of you to say, though.
And the backbone of it has never really been
Yeah.
thoroughly run through to update it. So it's probably 20-year-old technology that they've been pasting onto.
Colton, do you have any opinion?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So
Well, we have.
And I did the math. If board docs is costing us $2,700 on top of PSBA, if we're not going to ditch PSBA, we're talking about $468 more. So,
Yeah.
which, remember, there's whatever, 3% inflation, so.
Cool. No, I mean, like I would love to hear next month. We'll put it back on the agenda. And that way, hopefully, some of us can see the platform and try it and get their opinions. Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other comments before we move on? Okay, action item G6, the infamous student handbook. Last year, it came up at the 11th hour, if I remember correctly. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Take care.
And unfortunately, didn't get a chance to go through the curriculum committee. So this year, Megan, could you please give us an update? When does the student handbook have to actually be done and submitted?
So ideally, and just to clarify, student handbooks typically fall under the Director of Pupil Services because they're mostly behavioral related. They are not curriculum. So typically we send them for approval over the summer. Our principal teams are already working on the revisions for next year, and we anticipate that we could have those to the co-curricular committee, if that's the way you want to go, in May for potential full board look in June. We don't anticipate many changes this year, so it's very reasonable that we could do that in May.
Okay, does anyone on the board, I mean, it is on Keystone's website, but if you wanted the current version emailed directly to you to look at the current version, please let Christine know. Is that okay? All right, and that way you can see, and maybe, because it's like what, 70 some pages?
It's lengthy because it's comprehensive, which is good, but it's also.
Is there a possibility, you folks know best, is there a possibility it can be shortened into bullets or something? Because I'll be honest with you, even I like to read, but
Most
it's
of the
not a
stuff,
page turner.
most of the stuff, or I don't know, a lot of the stuff in there is things that we're required to put out. And there's things like bell schedules and explanations of what's in the course guide. And so there's things that it's just ends up being a lot of information.
And I don't want to plant ideas in people's heads, but AI is phenomenal for that.
Or links.
Just put it in there and ask for a summary. It will give it to you.
Yes.
We could even create a condensed version. Like if you want the full text, here it is. If you want the condensed text, here it is.
Sounds like a good thing. 'Cause,
Yes, it
you know,
does.
one of my objections has been, if it's too long, nobody's gonna bother to read it.
But it is also protection when there is an issue that it was covered in a handbook
yeah.
or communicated to parents and families. So it's sort of a double-edged sword, and it covers us in a lot of ways that we've communicated our policies and procedures. However, that also means it's lengthy.
The only word of caution I have about AI is obviously, but don't be taking executive material, because
Yeah.
once you feed it to AI, it becomes public domain.
Public.
So.
Thank you. Thank you. Just another quick thing. We never talked about this formally, but if this might come up if you wanted to. So many things that you have to put in the handbook are technically our policies. And is this unreasonable to think that there would be a link? Like you could give what you said, a summary, okay, and if they want to read it all, they just click on the link, it takes them right. If we're going to this new platform, or maybe might that be next year?
Yeah, we can definitely look at that and see where it would be applicable to put in a direct link
Okay.
instead
just a
of
thought.
a full text option, for
Okay,
sure. Yeah.
maybe next year with the new platform. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then you have your curriculum review timelines. What, you have to have your curriculum submitted to the state at a certain time, don't you? If I remember correctly?
So the curriculum review timeline is already spelled out in board policy.
Just so the curriculum committee chair knows what to expect, when to expect it. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
trying
an AR 105. So it's directly related to policy 105. There's a chart in the AR that outlines which departments write and develop curriculum in which years. And that was some of the information we went over on that Saturday session. But that is all in policy 105 and AR 105.
Okay, so when would the curriculum committee actually see the draft or the results to evaluate?
So that's part of phase 2 in the curriculum development cycle. So whenever any given content area is in phase 2, at the end of that year is when the board approves it, prior to selecting resources and implementing.
So the board would approve it like November? Is that what you mean by the end of the year? Do you mean like the end of the school year, May?
Typically, it's the end of the school. Well, it depends. It depends, but typically it's anywhere between May, June, July. It just depends on the context and how much the committee is able to get it done before the end of the school year. Things get often a little bit crazy at the end of the school year. So
Okay.
sometimes that work does extend into the summer.
Okay, Manny, I'm just giving you just to put a little bug in your ear. If you want to coordinate, so you folks, because when I was on the curriculum committee, if it came to the 11th hour, it was overwhelming to do an efficient job to evaluate it. So it's up to you folks to decide, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You can definitely bring that up for the next curriculum committee.
Sure.
Talk about it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions or concerns? Comments? Thank you. Number 7, the ad hoc executive Act 93 committee. King Spry had a conversation with them, and they said standard operating procedure is you create an ad hoc committee. The ad hoc committee looks at the benefits and the salary schedule. They take it to the full board. The board reviews the work that they've done. They comment. Then it goes back to the committee, or it does not go back to the committee. It becomes the final. So, King Spry said the president does this. So,
Can we
president,
talk about this before you do it?
Yeah.
I'm against this. I think this is something for multiple reasons should be done by all of us. We convene meetings, and I don't think it's right if you have a subcommittee that a few people, if we can't generate a quorum on the board for one of the most important things that we're doing. For you people over there that are new, this is where we're really gonna have something that's gonna determine where we're going in the future. This and the other 2 contracts. We gotta find, and the statute requires that we have a good faith discussion and things. We need to be honest. We need to be upfront. And I know in speaking to some of the representatives of the 93 people that they would prefer if all of us are dealing with it. I'm totally against trying to pigeonhole this as is done too often.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have to do this, Elizabeth?
Ad hoc committee?
Yeah.
That's, yes, I mean.
No, we do not have to
Please,
do
please,
this.
sir, please.
Well, it's a simple
You can,
yes or
it's up
no
to the
question.
board, it's up to the board to decide how they want to do it. But King Spry said an executive ad hoc committee, and the executive ad hoc committee is not doing everything. They are working with the solicitor, and they're working on the proposal that was given. So that's what they're doing. So the president is going to create an ad hoc committee of 3 members.
Wait a minute, I think you should get authorization from the 9 of us. If everybody wants to do it that way, that's fine. But you're trying to pull a power play, which you're not empowered to do.
The solicitor stated.
I don't care what the solicitor stated. We make the rules here. You're fascinated by lawyers. They're in it for a different reason.
Would anyone like any other discussion? Yes, please.
I understand what Bill's saying, but we have committees, all these different committees that we use for discussion, fact finding. They get all the documents, everything done. Then they do bring it to the whole board to decide everything. To get all of us together to go over this over and over and over, we'll never get all the same people together. That's why they do the committees. Then when we do have one, we can bring it to the board. So, Bill, I understand what you're saying, but I also say, how many of us can come to a quick meeting when we call? You're right. It is one of the most important contracts we got. But the more people that are involved researching and everything, it gets cloudy. It muddies the waters. So on every committee, we pick a certain amount of people. They go do the fact finding. They do the legwork, the research. They deal with things. Then they bring it to the entire board to make a decision. We did it with the charter school. And that went slick. Instead of 7 or 8 meetings, we had 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a problem with an ad hoc committee to do the work that needs done. And then it can come to the full board. It has to.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm coming to enough meetings as it is from Loganton. And I think those of you that are working, myself included, it's hard to program a time to get all of us here. And I think it just makes sense.
Well, I would agree that it's difficult. We're having too darn many meetings as it is. I agree, but skip the other ones and do this. This is what's important.
All of them are important, Bill.
In relativity, this is what's important.
Okay, so are you saying we
Excuse me,
do
I'm
away
not
with all
finished.
the other committees?
I did not say that. I'd say if we have to skip other meetings to get this one done. This has got to be done by June 30th.
I understand
It's not like
that.
we're going to be continuing this for a long time. All right? I think that we all, and then because we got people over there that don't want to raise taxes because, oh, we're spending too much. And one of the most important things in what's going to affect our spending, you want to delegate to smaller amount of people, and then it comes to the board, and then there's, well, should we talk? And I'm sorry, I think that the people that think that we shouldn't be raising taxes or not raising taxes much should be there to look at the contract and say, this is where we're spending money, and we want to do this, and we don't want to do that. I think this is what our responsibility is, and the other things, well, that, we can do without a lot of the committee meetings for a little while.
Next? Yes, Manning.
So with this, if we have 3 board members that go to this meeting, aren't the other board members allowed to attend anyways?
Yes, again.
Oh, okay. So I guess why are we fighting with it?
Yeah, to
But if
schedule
we-
everything, it's gonna be during the day. It might happen, we need you tomorrow, you know,
Mhm.
nothing, the committees don't make any decisions, zero. The committees do the fact finding. I think, Chris, you explained it well enough. I don't have to regurgitate. All right, this is gonna be, we
Regurgitate?
want boom, 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 done, bring it to the board in executive session and be prepared to be in executive session for at least a half an hour, if not an hour, going through the fact finding with the solicitor in the room.
Yeah.
So
And-
that's the idea.
And all the board members are invited to go to that committee meeting.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so we can
But they're
put the
not
three
allowed to
there.
vote.
No, there is no voting on
There
that.
is
topic.
no
There's no
voting.
voting in
It's a committee meeting.
Well, you, whatever you want to call it, consensus voting, you're going to think, you're not going to have any input on that with the way our committee structure is put out.
When it's brought up to the board, you have a vote in it.
Yes, that's, and then you got to start over again.
Then that's how it'll be.
Well, if that's the way you want it, that's fine. But I think it's a big mistake. And
The only thing-
especially, who do you plan on putting on this committee? There's people here that I don't particularly trust.
So is there any
That's
other
fine.
comments regarding this issue? Yes, please.
Bill, I gotta disagree with you. Every committee we have is very important because that's what runs the school district.
No, this
You
board
can't-
runs the
Excuse
school.
me, I'm not done.
Please,
I'm
Bill,
not
he has the
done.
floor, hon. He's got the floor.
Well, but if he makes a misstatement.
Excuse me.
You can correct him please. He has the floor, please.
Every
Chris, go ahead.
committee here is what helps drive the school to operate. It's imperative that we have committees. And to just say, oh, we're not doing this meeting this month, we can't do that. That can get us so far behind the ball. Last year, curriculum committee didn't have any meetings for half, 3/4 of the year. We have to do this in a deliberated fashion. Everybody has a piece of the work of the pie, and we have to have a committee to move forward. Otherwise, we're just gonna sit here and I'm sorry, Bill, when you make a comment, you don't trust people on the board. I don't know who you're talking about and I don't want to know. But we're all here for the same reason. To try to do the best we can to make the school move forward, be the safest environment for the students, and give the students the best learning ability that we can. That's it.
Okay, yes, please, John.
I understand exactly what Bill's saying, but I also understand exactly what he's saying. We just spent roughly 20 minutes because we mentioned the word ad hoc. So if we don't have an ad hoc and we go to the Act 93 meeting, we're getting nothing accomplished because it's going to be back and forth and back and forth. It's easier with 3 people, whoever they are, to sit down, have a discussion, come up with an idea and bring it to the board. Because once it's on the agenda, then we can talk about it. But we've literally just spent 20 minutes because someone said the word ad hoc. So the 93 meetings are just going to be we don't have time for it. It has to be done by June.
Thank you. Oh,
He was
someone
ahead of
over
me.
here? I'm sorry, Rich.
Manny, I think you made the point pretty well. If we can all attend a meeting anyway, there's no need for an ad hoc. What I think, what I hear is, or correct me if I'm wrong, now we're discussing the negotiating committee. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry, Liz.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I get chastised
No, that's fine.
otherwise for saying, wait a minute. You know what I'm talking about. So when Tom's talking about finally to the folks about the contract, that's one committee that is not what you're talking about. You're talking about a group of people that keeps it within the board. But when we go to that group, we are going to have to deliberate about who does that. And it's the whole board, not board. I think your point makes the idea of an ad hoc committee moot, Manny. Because if we can all attend, then it's just a matter of Liz leading the discussion that the 3 people will be doing for the ad hoc. Because I'd like to show up to that meeting as well. If I'm retired and not that I don't have anything to do, but I'm nosy. and, I would show up for it, and, I just don't see the need for the ad hoc, even though it's good advice. It's good advice, and I got the point of that. No, thank you for pointing.
A quick question. How many of their Act 93 representatives will be there?
No one, none, zero.
Okay, so,
This is just to meet, three people meet with the solicitor,
okay,
okay, that we hired. And then we go over what their proposal is.
okay, all right.
There's no discussion with any employees. This is just to go over the bones and the foundation of it, and then come back to the full board with our findings. And that is it. So I would like to proceed. We've already spent how many minutes on this? Unless there's another.
Why do
critical
we
comment.
need the lawyer there when we're deciding what we want to do? Why don't we need the lawyer until we've decided what we want to do and say, does this meet with the requirements of the statute? And quit rolling your eyes when you look at me.
Excuse me, sir, point of order. You don't need to talk down to the president. Talk to her like you want to be talked to.
If I roll my eyes, she can say that to me.
So, unless there is a majority here that does not want an ad hoc committee, so when the president makes a meeting for an executive session, and if we don't have 5 board members that who cannot show up at that exact time, that we have to get these meetings done, that means we cannot hold the meeting. So having an ad hoc committee meeting makes us much more flexible. We're still doing this together. Okay, we're just doing the ad hoc committee does the fact finding, and we are led by a professional.
groundwork.
We are not the professionals. That's how I feel about it. We are not the professionals. Kingsbury are the professionals.
No, they're not. They're the lawyers. We're the ones that have to deal with what we want to do with this school district.
So,
Is Kingsbury, may I speak?
yes, please, I think he's fine. Yes.
Kingsbury has a professional group that works with lawyers specifically for this. I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. None of us in here are, unless I don't know. But to have them for professional advice and to be able to help guide us on what is best to keep us legally safe and sound, I have no problem with that at all.
I don't either. But that's not, in the initial meetings, there's no need for them. In fact, they'll just get in the way. We have to decide the broad things, if you want me to dig it out so we can go through, we have to decide things about health insurance, about salaries, about salary increases, about not pension benefits, about days off, vacations, things like that. There's no need for a lawyer in there. They'll just get in the way. We can decide on that when we have an outline. Then I have no problem with consulting with the lawyer and say, does this all meet with what we have to do? That's fine. But a fascination with having lawyers there for everything, they just get in the way. It's not like this is my first time around with this, you try to avoid having them there.
Yes, Chris.
There doesn't have to be a lawyer there for each and every discussion we have. I agree with that. But have you ever sat on a board and dealt with union negotiations?
We're not dealing with
Excuse me.
But don't say things we're not
I'm
dealing with a union.
not done. Have you ever sat on a board and dealt with union negotiations, personnel contract negotiations, or anything like that?
Union, no.
Okay, thank you.
But that's the point. We're not dealing with a union here. And when we deal with the unions, I would have a completely different discussion. I agree. Because we have to deal with the labor laws, then it's a completely different situation. You're conflating things that shouldn't be conflated.
You said it. You've not sat with contract negotiations and all that before.
No, I didn't say that. You said union.
I said
That's what I
union
said.
or contract negotiations.
which what implies that I've done the other when I said not a union.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yes, we are closing up this conversation unless there's other critical information or comments. I'm gonna go ahead and do the ad hoc committee. And once the ad hoc committee is done, you will get phone calls from me and we will set up the first meeting. 3 people, personnel chair, Chris Scaff, vice president, John Miller, and president Elizabeth Lynch. Thank you.
I move that all meetings scheduled must be advertised to the entire board.
No problem with that.
Second.
No, there's no motion. We can't vote or anything. I'm more than happy. I will call all of you with the time
Thank
and
you.
the date. Okay? All right.
Send it in an email.
Yes, I can do that. That's fine. There won't be any information in the email. It's just date time. Okay? That's a little bit unprecedented for an ad hoc committee, but given the fact that there's interest, we can make this work. Okay? All right. Moving forward. Administrative regulations. These went through the policy committee. Again, the board reviews them, but we don't vote on them. Is there any questions or comments,
Can you
please?
back up to summer rec program?
Oh, I'm so
please?
sorry. Yes. Number 8, summer rec program. We have 3 attachments. Is there any comments or any updates anyone would like to provide to the board?
My recollection is that when we talked about this last time, the board approved the option number 3. And we provided at that time, a list of, staff members and, the number of staff we would be using and that sort of thing. My understanding is that's what, that was the information requested, for this. I don't know that, because I think the board's already taken action on this. I think this is just informational at this point.
And can I say something? Cause you're not going to be here, but is there somebody gonna monitor the different, locations and make sure things are?
Every year we've done this, since I've been here and even before that, Kurt Lynch, has.
That's-
You're doing it?
Yeah, about
Okay.
5 years, they said this fell under CTE.
Okay. I
So
didn't know
I've
that,
been
so-
the person that's run it over the summer and we really streamlined it. And I can tell you this, if it's not strategically placed in specific areas with my tracking, you will not get attendees. Last year, we had a park that was not open because it was under construction and your enrollment dropped and the kids only had to walk a block and a half
Wow.
to the next park. If it is not literally from me to you away,
They're
from
not
specific areas, attendance will drop. That is why we strategically picked 3. And and you'll see numbers on there. Years in the past, when it first started, there was probably twice this many parks. But some were under construction and we found out that we could merge some together. That make sense?
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. I didn't know that you were.
No, that falls under community. I learned that 5 years ago.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now, number 9, administrative regulations and the policies for them. So, any comments, concerns? Okay, thank you
This
very much.
is-
Oh,
This is all the policies we were talking about that are different ARs and that you folks should read up on them. You really should.
okay, is that the last one for that? Thank you. H1, I asked that this be added to the agenda. The music recital this year was phenomenal, and you can see that it's made up of past and some current of our music faculty. It was phenomenal. It was free. Bill, I saw you there. It was
very good.
It was stunning, and it's a fundraiser, which is ironic, for this evening's agenda for the Keystone Foundation. Thank you. Solar grant program, H2, I've been following, different school districts across the state that have been doing solar programs. And so far, this one, Newport, that's why I'm sharing this information in the work session. If any of you click on the link that was provided, if there's interest in this, the school district should act sooner versus later. And if you look at the link, you'll see that their proposal included the contractor handled the grant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just saying there's a template here. So next week, if the board majority wants to go after some of this money, then we can have a motion, okay? Or if not, or if you have any questions, please ask. All right? Thank you very much. The 2026 delegate appointments. You can appoint up to 3. You see the date and the time. We don't have to do this evening. If you would like some more time to do this, I've been on this before. I found it very interesting and insightful, and you do have a voice. So, is it all right? We'll just wait for this for the voting session. You can think about it if you want to look into it some more or call me with any questions. Okay, thank you. IU10 staffing study proposal contract. There has been a miscommunication for 2 different people. I will be contacting the IU10 in the near future. I did speak to them a month ago and they told me they do staffing studies and they do them for less than $12,000. Then someone else contacted them. They were given totally different information. So that will be clarified by the next work session. Okay, so please disregard that for right now. Number 5, the PSBA's platform process. Again, if you would be so kind as to look at these, at least for their platform issues, and then we can decide within the time frame if the board collective would like to send one letter to PSBA on behalf of our whole district on what our platform is. Now, you may like some of them already, you may not like some of the proposed ones, but I have one to propose. The school code of 1949. We follow a lot of our mandates from 1949. That was 77 years ago. In that legislation, we are one of 2 elected officials in Pennsylvania that does not get any sort of stipend for sitting on the school board. I feel that conversation should go somewhere someday. That school board should have the option to offer a stipend to school board members if they so choose, similar to cities and other municipalities. Now, I'm not talking about tens of thousands of dollars here. You contact your local municipality, okay, Woolrich, Renova. Ask them, ask your council member or supervisor, do you get any sort of stipend for being elected for that year? Some of them go by meeting, and they get $100 per meeting or $200 per meeting. Anyways, that's something I truly believe, because our skill level set and how much we have to know, how much training we need. I mean, I do this school board 6 hours a day, no problem.
Easy.
Yeah. Boom, 6 hours a day. Now, I'm very grateful to sit here. I feel privileged, but it's also 2026. So please think about that. And if there's anything else, we can talk about this. We still have 2 months.
I'd be happy just to get mileage.
Yeah, we can't even get mileage. So, and that's not fair to some people who have to travel farther than others. Something to think about.
I don't disagree with the, that it would be, I don't disagree it wouldn't be inappropriate to have some compensation for us, but I think it's only fair to point out that the School Board Act of 1949 has been amended numerable times, some of the most recent this year.
Yes, yes.
So we're not necessarily doing things from 1949.
Yeah, it gets updated
so
almost daily.
Yeah, but I'm saying this particular line,
Right.
this 77 years. Okay, thank you very much. The next action item, is there any comments, Dr. Rimmer, anything different that we should know? This is
Nope, nothing for me.
okay. Thank you very much. We have some wonderful action items 7, 8, and 9. I hope you've had a chance to look at it. Is there any questions or concerns or updates?
Did you
for
talk
us?
about the Kingsbury?
That's what I just mentioned, yeah. If you had any
I thought-
comments or anything.
Okay, I thought you were still on platform. Or my mistake.
No, is there anything on 6?
Nope.
Okay. Action items 7, 8, and 9, we've got some phenomenal field trips. Is there any comments, concerns?
I've been by the amusement park in Sandusky and it looks really neat.
Yeah, I don't think they need
That's a
facilities,
cool
but.
place. I don't see anything on there where we can read what each one is about.
Oh,
So-
yeah, well, it was there at one point.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now and
Yeah.
there's nothing there that we can read what it's
Yeah, it
about.
was about, one was going to a play in New York.
Mhm.
One was going to the amusement park in Sandusky and I've forgotten what the other one was.
Well, if they
Corning
can,
glass.
Yeah, so
Corning, yeah.
if we can get them put back on there so we can see them by the voting meeting.
log in, it's under the executive section. If you log in and look.
I'm logged in.
Scroll down. Sometimes if your screen is very small, you can't
No,
see.
I'm going as far as I can.
It's under administrative content, and then there's another line that says executive content.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah?
able to see it?
Mhm.
I have it.
I got them up here.
Right here.
Let me refresh my
I was
screen
gonna say
and we'll
refresh
see.
the screen.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
there.
you can see.
Yep.
Okay.
It's because I'm not signed in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw
Did
them
you
right
want to
now.
hold any discussion for this, or should I move on to the next item?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Move on. Meeting's gone long enough.
Yes, it has. That's our goal, to shorten them. Action item 10, aggression replacement training. If any of you had checked, to check the link.
Yeah, see, I still don't have them.
Anyways, to make a long story short, I can honestly say this as a school board member, I 120% support when our employees are getting types of training, especially this type. But I did have a question. I brought it up during the work session agenda when we were building it on Tuesday, excuse me. I was confused. And this, Elizabeth, maybe you can help
When
us
we're
out. On the website, it says that they will come to you to do the training, but we are sending 25 employees.
No, the trainers they'll be coming into the district.
Oh,
And we're
then why
looking
is it
at, we're trying to do 2 different
You have to pay their mileage
sessions.
to get here.
Oh, please, I'm sorry.
So the
Elizabeth,
travel's a little more costly because we're looking at 2 different sessions to do the training so that we don't have everyone out of the district at once. We were hoping to do one in May and then possibly have another one in September.
Oh, can you,
And it includes teachers, support staff, counselors, social workers, our behavior interventionists. There's a component in the summer where they will come in and train principals so that they are aware of the program, the common language, what the strategies are. There's also a follow-up component, so they will come back to us to do an implementation review, what is going well, what might we need to change, has this been effective? So there's kind of that coaching component along with it.
okay, super terrific. I misunderstood. I thought you were all traveling
No.
to their location, but I read the website. I think they sound like a fantastic group. So I'm not questioning that, but what I am questioning is it possible not to do it when school is open?
Well, we've had that conversation. Part
I
of
mean-
that becomes then a choice for someone to participate
What?
rather than when they really need the training, right? So we're honing in on a specific population of students. So we really need the people that interject with them and interact with them every day to be trained. So that was the piece. I mean, we could possibly look at maybe offering one training during the school year, one training in the summer. But just as an admin team, when we discussed it, we felt it would be best to try to offer it during the school year.
And thinking about kind of best practices for adult education, the more embedded training that you can do. So if they can take what they've learned and directly apply it the next day with the students they're seeing, it's a much more effective way for adults to learn and take something that they're learning and put it into practice.
Well, I understand the rationale. I do. It's just that we're getting, again, we are this close to being solvent, okay? So that means that we have to hire substitute teachers or something to take the place of these other people that are training during
Correct.
school year. Okay,
However, if, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
If-
please.
If we were to do
I'm
it in
trying
the
to-
summer, then we'd have to pay teachers their per diem rate in addition to their contract to attend. So we're doing it, this is in terms of the pay for our professional staff or substitutes, this is a much more cost effective way of doing it.
And there's a need. We have,
Oh, no,
we have a
yes.
significant group of students who cannot deal with anger. We need to be more proactive rather than reactive. We kind of problem solve after the fact, but everybody is on the same thought that we need tools. We need to be able to give students these strategies, and this is really the best way to be able to do that. And it will be paid for, not out of general fund. There's money through medical access that we recoup for students with disabilities. So that will not be a factor in terms of the budget.
Yes, thank you. That description was helpful, but I'm saying, yes, the grant is covering the items that we see on the attachments. okay?
Correct.
But what it's not covering though is any of the support staff that's gonna have to move in.
We can
to where
cover, we can cover the substitute coverage.
Already thought of it, took care of it already.
That's lovely. Good job.
Okay. Please vote yes.
Next week.
Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you. Any other questions or concerns? Thank you for getting that set up for today. You got all the answers. Okay, action item 11, state and local cyber security grant program.
We have Jeremy here, who's online, who can explain this, if you want, but essentially this is asking for, we've already been approved for the grant, but in order to work through the grant, you have to, the board has to approve someone to sign off on the grant. And so we're asking for either Joni or myself to have that signatory authority for it. And if you want to know more specifically what the grant is about, Jeremy's online, who can probably give you more details if you're interested.
I'm a security buff, but I don't want to keep the meeting going longer than it has to.
And if you want to do a conversation later, we can talk.
Yeah.
I can hook you up with the
That'll
tech team.
satisfy me, yeah. I'll
Great.
email you.
I would love it if you would do that. And then if you have any good and interesting factoids, share it with us later. Thank you. That really helps. Thank you. Okay, IU10 audit proposals. We had this taken off curriculum and we had it put on here because these are things that we talked about a few months ago and the board had interest in. So did anyone have any questions? Because we have to vote on this next week, okay? And if you have questions now, or if you want something edited or changed, please. Especially, and I still have no reason not to support the cyber charter root cause audit and student re-engagement proposal. Again, we can't guarantee that if the board approves, we have no guarantees that we're gonna even get one student back out of cyber school into our school. But she wrote some numbers in here that if we get X amount number, that automatically pays for this cost. And she seemed, I think that was a February training presentation by Dawn. She appeared with her confidence level to say that in the past, when they've done it, they've had positive results and she's kept the data. So now the second one, if anyone has any questions or concerns on that, but please, before the vote session, please voice your comments, please. So we're ready to go with this one way or another. Please. And then the second one, the climate and culture audit. Now, again, if you have any questions or concerns, again, I'm not going to sit here and champion or not champion, but Cyber One, I've already championed it back in the training, so I felt I could. I'm not giving away any new information. But again, is there any questions or concerns, or do you want to look at it and then get back to us before the voting section, please?
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
If a student's leaving and they're going to go to charter school, is there any like exit interview that we do, like kind of like just to the family?
Where possible, yes.
Where possible.
So sometimes they're willing to engage and sometimes they're not.
Okay, but we attempt. Okay.
Yep. And that's one thing that she does look into, and then you do a follow-up the following year for that one. But that's a perfect question.
Elizabeth,
Yes,
now this cyber charter audit, there's multiple options here. Which one, or is there one you're focused on, or?
you mean the add-on services at the end?
Well, I'm
Page
just
3 and
looking
4?
here, you know,
Option A, B, and C.
option A, foundational diagnostic, option B,
Mhm.
full root cause. Option C, I think there was, negative, okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
I remember.
On
Option
page
C,
2 and 3.
comprehensive, and they're all different amounts of bucks. Which one were you looking at?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I feel that this is a critical issue. I have 3 critical issues that are me personally: safety and security, curriculum, and cyber charter schools. Okay. This one to me is a personal critical, but thank you for asking. Me personally, I know we are not doing well with the budget, but this is the one time I would go all the way. Unless someone has rationale to convince me otherwise, which I'm totally open to.
Well, okay, I mean, I would just say we turned down the initial staffing study because it was $12,000. And they were pretty sure, I mean, you can never have a full guarantee. In their experience, they usually found more money than they cost. And the majority turned that down. We're now being asked to spend $21,000. Do they have any data to show that they usually come up with more than that? And that's, I would like to see that. Because if they don't, I think it, at least in my opinion, it makes a very different approach to this.
So just a little bit of context. So if we look at option C, for instance, just assuming that we're talking about students who do not have an IEP that have chosen to go to a cyber charter, 2 of those students coming back would more than cover that cost.
Okay.
Elizabeth, I haven't. Joni, how much usually per student are we losing when they go to, how much do we have to pay for that student for cyber? Do you, I know you said it the one time it was.
It's between
30,000.
13,000 and 26,000.
Yeah, something like, yeah, it was quite a bit. Yeah. That's where it is.
That's right, she broke it down by 3, yeah.
Yeah. No, that was just, I just wanted to ask her because I wanted to refresh my memory.
Yeah, didn't they pass some legislation lowering what they can charge, right? Has that kicked in yet?
Yeah, last year, the legislature changed the formula that we use to calculate the per student charge for cyber charters. And so there was a little bit of a break there, and it reduced the per student cost. I think, yeah, so there was some change there. Ultimately, for most situations, we're paying out more per student than we get in per student from our typical revenue sources when they choose to go to a cyber charter.
Okay. And that's even with the reduction?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
And again, that's the tricky wick too, is the more the district spends, then the more higher percentages. It all follows each other. We spend a little more on a student, they get a little bit more money.
It's based
So
on
they
expenditures.
keep, they're together always.
Mhm.
So, anyways, any other questions or concerns, or please voice yourself before the vote so we can move forward with, or not. Thank you. Policies first read, they're there, they've been worked on. If you have any questions or concerns, the chair is here to answer them.
One thing I want to say, the first one, policy 915, relations with PTO booster organizations. We've been working on that since last October. Some of those groups were not up to date. One of them actually had their bylaws were from back in the 90s. And Christine's done a great job. We've got, everybody has updated their bylaws or replaced them. They're all up to speed. The PTO booster organizations now, instead of all doing their own individual thing, they're all on a level playing field where they can work with us with more continuity, and it'll make easier transitions the whole way across the board. That's the big one. That's the biggest one there. Everything else is stuff that we've done that's up for first read.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Minutes, Christine and all the other secretaries, they email them out to us. We have plenty of time to read them, edits, requests. Any questions or concerns in J16? Okay, thank you very much. K1, bills for payment.
There's
Again,
nothing
this is a
there.
this is a placeholder. It's coming up. I just lost it. What's another action item? What's the next one, sir, please?
Checks for review.
Oh, I have, yep. So I
Checks
think-
for review.
Thank you. Checks for review, yes. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, this is kind of what I was talking about back when we were in the finance committee. If you folks scroll down, get in there and go to, I believe it's page
Just jump.
page 14. This is kind of the stuff Joni and I were talking about. Christy doesn't know it, but she'll be involved in it. Page 14 is all property services. All the PP&L bills there that you see are all paid out of the property services account. You cannot do good budgeting when you're having all these different accounts. And as you can see, they have all the schools listed there and they all have their own meters. So the budgets for each meter in each school needs to come out of that school's budget.
So I'll just interrupt for a second because I want to explain the rationale.
Yep.
Property services and myself work together to obtain those services, to obtain those prices, those contracts. So that is why it's in property services. They are actually responsible for making sure and maintaining that we are still getting the current rates that we should. If they go over, they are the ones who are contacting the utilities, the oil and the gas, the electric, and so forth. So that's why we have never put them in the building budgets, because when you put them in the building budgets, according to our past practice, is now they are responsible for those budget amounts. It's the same rationale, and I'll go ahead, just jump ahead, because we're going to get into curriculum and IT and the rationale behind why everything is in the tech budget. We did that so that we could manage all the software and hardware in the district. Prior, maybe 5 years ago, I'm not sure, they were spread out in all the departments. Business office had software and curriculum had software, special ed, buildings, they all had software and hardware. What we found was that we had elementary buildings using different software for the same purpose. What we also found is that some software may have been purchased that it didn't work with our systems. It didn't integrate with the systems we had because we didn't do enough research at the building level. So that's why we brought it all into the tech department. We thought that was more manageable district-wide to have it sitting in there. It doesn't mean that special ed still doesn't say this is what we want to purchase. It doesn't mean that curriculum doesn't say this is what we want to purchase. It just all ran through the tech department because it was one department that was managing software and hardware. So that's the rationale behind why past practice has been that, has developed that way.
Right. Now, Joni and I talked earlier today. It wouldn't be hard to put each one to Joni and them would still do the deals to get the best deals and everything else. But when we look at one school's budget, that would be in there and we would know what's costing what per.
Yeah, we're not
School.
changing what.
Right, we're not changing what they're doing, we're just making it so we can see the different individual budgets easier. But I will not make a decision for the board. The board has to decide, would you rather see it so we can budget per building? Or do you want to keep it coming out of one account?
Per building.
Per building. Anybody else, please?
So just as a little bit more background on, typically the per building budgets are discretionary spending per building. Utility costs are not discretionary.
Mhm.
And so as we kind of create these budgets, you know, the ones for each building are the things that the principal and his team figure out what to spend on supplies and all that sort of thing. They really don't have any real control over their utility cost. And so that's another one of those reasons why we keep those things in different buckets.
Oh, we understand that. We are not micromanaging how you do
Not
your
at all.
books.
Not
That has
at all.
nothing to do separate. This is so we as a board and the public can see how much it costs to run each school building. If and when we ever do any energy improvements, we ever do any solar programs, anything, you're gonna have the data for that school building already there. There's gonna be a history of things to evaluate. So also, if we see one school building, let's say they're using, I'm just gonna say 100 kilowatts per square foot. But then the school over here is using 10 kilowatts per square foot. Immediately, that's a trigger. That's a flag. It's like, okay, wait, what's going on here? Facilities committee might bring it up to be evaluated, et cetera, et cetera. So bottom line, that's how I feel about it. We're looking at the long game.
So basically, you're saying you're not planning to change how they're budgeting as far as these books, but you just want to present a report on all expenses associated with that building.
Yeah.
So, hey, I just want to comment. So
Please.
the real thing, I'm sorry to butt in, but so my budget for the 25-26 school year was $1.398 million. And I am over budget right now for the property services because our utility bills are so high. So it makes it look like property services spending a pile of money.
Right.
In the reality, we've spent over $900,000 right now on utility bills, and I can barely keep the buildings operational based on my budget. It makes it look like property services is over budget, but we're not. We're way over budget on the cost of utilities. So I believe that I should still maintain control of the utility contracts,
Mm-hmm.
We're not, yeah, we're not.
but those bills should not come out of what I have to spend to maintain each building. We have 8 buildings plus a warehouse and property services. And I have no money to spend on maintenance and operations of those buildings because we spend it all in utilities. That is where we're at.
Yes, please, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Part of what I'm talking about, if you folks are on page 14 and you look, the first line was 12,743.39 for Central Mountain High School charges. And you go down and look at each school, see what the charge is, and all of a sudden Woodward charges are 21,532.66. And that's a smaller school.
It's a different time span too.
Yes, it is. It is a different time span. We're not changing who's doing the contracts. We're not changing any of that.
Yeah,
We're
some of our
just
business.
assigning part of that budget to that school. They need to be responsible. They need to turn their lights off. They need to act healthy and do things. And it's not just that. If you look at the gas, the UGI is the same way. All those charges should be assigned to each individual school's budget.
For our reports.
Right, for
Yeah,
our
that's what I'm
reports.
saying. So we build year after year after year if we see anything that's an anomaly or It's for evaluation purposes. That's our job.
Yeah,
We're
because
supposed
you
to be
build
evaluating.
budgets, you build budgets by, in a business, you build budgets by the business, what they're doing. It can be the same company, but you can have two different stores. And the budgets go by the store, that doesn't go by each department. That's all I'm asking, just to clear it up and clarify it.
Elizabeth,
Yes, I'm so sorry.
I have to be excused.
Yes, that's right. He has to leave. He has a conflict. Thank you for letting us know, Manny. We deeply appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Have a nice weekend, man. Thank you.
That was all I had to say. And like I say, Joni and them are doing an excellent job with things. And when her and I talked earlier, it wouldn't be that big a deal, but they still have to control the contracts. None of that's gonna change. It's just gonna change how we're seeing it. So that's up to the board to decide if they want to change it and have that added into these new budgets that we're seeing or not.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you very much. The weeding report. Item number 3. Is there any questions or concerns? Okay. Action item number 4, the fire protection. Dr. Redmond explained this during the work session to set the agenda. This is just a standard operating, for code, et cetera, nothing, unless there's any questions. Okay, action item 5, K5, Kings 3, emergency communications annual. Is this something we're happy with?
Yes, it's our
Elevator emergency contacts and stuff like that.
Great, okay. Personnel, you see that there's the public and then you now have the executive session. Thank you, executive content. Thank you, Justin and team, for doing that. We don't make any public discussions on that executive content. It's just for your own information. Any questions or concerns? Okay. Standard M1, athletics and student activities with the lists. Any questions or concerns? Action item M2. Once again, thank you, Beach Creek Borough baseball fields. It saves us a lot of money and it's a great partnership. Any questions or concerns? Action item M3, same thing. Thank you very much, Mill Hall Borough baseball fields. Annual contract or agreement, I'm sorry. Any questions or concerns? Future board meetings is the next voting, April 16th. Items for future discussion. Is there anything in particular that you would want to be on the voting session that isn't already there?
No, but I would like to call a short executive session to talk about a personnel issue after the board meeting here. It shouldn't take 5 minutes to get a decision.
I deeply appreciate it, and then I would like to give you a 10-minute update of what's happened this past month, but I can't email it to you. Okay? All right, anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned, 9:02. Thank you very much for your patience. 3 hours. And